Good morning, everyone. Virgo here. It is January 28th, 2020, and happy Tuesday to everyone. I wanted to take a moment to thank my subscriber, Emma Willard, for contacting me with regards to this. This is out of Chester County, Pennsylvania. Emma's been a subscriber to the Virgo Triad channel for many years. She's also assisted with many of the legal aspects of this channel, because she is a very good attorney and understands thoroughly our Constitution and how these specific scenarios work with regards to the courts and people claiming lack of jurisdiction, etc., etc. So I want to thank Emma for always being there for questions that we have that are not easy to find, and for letting us know what the facts are with regards to a lot of these stories. Okay, so we're going to take a look at this. You guys are not going to believe this story. It's really, really a disturbing one. This has to do with an activist that's heading to trial for an incident with an officer. Janae Rebecca Smith, 28 years old, of Philadelphia, is accused of dragging a police officer down a street with the car she was driving following a routine traffic stop in Malvern 2 years ago, a felony for which she faces a possible maximum prison term of more than 90 years if she's convicted. The officer suffered moderate injuries in the incident. Smith, who in the past has claimed to be a member of the Moorish American movement, is representing herself in the trial before Judge Jacqueline Carroll Cody, but has found herself in repeated disputes over minor sticking points, such as what her name is, with the judge, since she fired her previous attorney, County Assistant Public Defender Peter Jers. She now will act as her standby counsel as Smith represents herself, as we so often see in these cases. Smith has previously questioned the legitimacy of courts in Pennsylvania and has contended that since she is a Moorish American, she can't be judged by current authorities. But on Monday, she appeared to put aside those stances, at least for the moment, as she answered Cody's questions about her decision to proceed to trial without an attorney. Quote, "You understand you will be totally on your own and that I cannot assist you," end quote, the judge asked, advising her that she would be better served with a lawyer presenting her case. "Yes, that's correct," Smith answered. The case is being prosecuted by Chief Deputy District Attorney Michelle Fry and Assistant District Attorney Miles Madison. According to the Southern Poverty Law Center, a national organization that tracks these movements, the Moorish Americans are a collection of independent organizations and lone individuals that emerged in the early 90s with an offshoot of the Sovsit movement, which believes that individual citizens hold sovereignty over and are independent of the authority of federal and state governments. Among other things, such individuals refuse to acknowledge the need to obtain driver's licenses, register their vehicles, or submit to traffic laws because they contend those laws are only for conveyances that are engaged in commercial dealings, as we hear constantly, you guys. Some also contend that they can copyright or trademark their names in order to keep others from publicly identifying them, which is 100% not true, as we know. Smith allegedly told officers the night of the incident that she did not have to show any driver's ID because she was, quote, "not driving. That is an act of commerce." And she was not engaged in any such activity, according to her. She is facing charges of aggravated assault of a police officer, recklessly endangering another person, fleeing or attempting to elude resisting arrest, and related charges stemming from the December 20 incident in Malvern, a few miles from the campus where she went to school at. She was registered as a student And according to a criminal complaint that was filed against Smith by Officer Stephen Walker of the Malvern Police Department, the incident began at about 9:10 p.m. on December 20th when Officer Tyler Berry saw a black Chevrolet Monte Carlo run through a stop sign on Sugartown Road near the Raintree apartment complex. Berry followed the car and watched as the driver failed to stop at three stop signs along King Street in the borough. When the Monte Carlo turned into the Malvern Shopping Center on King Street, Burrow approached and knocked on the driver's side door to get the driver's attention. The female driver rolled her window down a few inches and told Burry to wait a minute. Asked for a driver's license, she insisted she was an American national and provided only a self-issued non-state identification card, which listed her name as Janae Rebecca Bay. Moorish American followers many times use the surname Bay after one of the movement's earlier leaders, Taj Tariq Bay. When Burry could not find a record of the driver's license for Smith, he was joined by Officer Patrick Doherty. They requested identification, which Smith allegedly refused to provide. When Doherty told her she would be detained until she provided valid identification, she refused to exit the car. The officer then both tried to forcibly remove her from the Monte Carlo, but as she struggled, she was able to rev the engine and put the car into drive. It accelerated away. Doherty, who had grasped onto Smith's arm, was dragged approximately 10 to 15 feet by the car before rolling away onto the pavement. Smith drove from the scene, but was stopped by Tredyffrin police. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, you guys. About 30 minutes later on Route 30 and taken into custody. Doherty missed about 1 week of work after being treated for his injuries at the hospital. Smith was held on bail in Chester County Prison for several days after her arrest. While there, she wrote to a judge who was to hear her bail motion that she took issue with, the jurisdiction of the courts of Pennsylvania and the United States. In the letter, she argued against the notion of American citizenship, stating that she was a part of the quote-unquote Moor Nation and questioned whether there was any jurisdiction for her being held for trial. Quote, "I am Janae Rebecca Bay, Moorish American, Aboriginal, and Indigenous to the land," end quote, the letter read. Quote, "I am in propria persona as myself for myself, free white person at law," end quote. She wrote in the 3-page missive, quote, "I am not a 14th Amendment construct or artificial person. I am declared national. I am an African descendant, not U.S. citizens, as U.S. citizenship is unlawful pursuant to the Constitution, Article 13, end quote. Open statements are scheduled Tuesday, with the trial expected to last at least 2 days. That is currently going on as we speak. I'm going to be keeping an eye on that in hopes that I can actually pull up the docket and we can take a look at this. Unbelievable here that we have one of the Moorish Americans. Chances are somebody involved with the Moorish American consulate, just based on the statement that she has written here for the judge that she wrote the letter to, and see what we can see with regards to what happens in this trial. Again, she's facing 90 years to life for dragging this police officer on this, during this actual stop, rather than providing an actual driver's license or simply saying that she did not have one. Once again, I want to thank Emma for forwarding this information to me, and thank you, as always, for all of the legal assistance that you provide to the Virgo Triad channel. Everybody have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.